Right, the army is more mobile in general. They have several units that have several units of jump troops, and 2 new transport vehicles, which is something the Necrons have never had. Obviously, apart from Monolith. One transport can carry 15 Necrons, while another can carry 10. Right, what else, Nathan?
Okay, Necron vehicles, except for the Monolith, will now be classed as open top skimmers. However, they have something called quantum shielding, which gives their front and side armour a 2+ save against the first glancing or penetration roll, at which point it loses the shielding, so it's kind of like the deflector shields and all that kind of stuff. One of these 2 transports, we're not 100% sure which one it is apparently a personal transport for your Lord and his retinue.
Alright, there are 6 new vehicles in the codex, including the 2 transports mentioned above. In general, Necrons have a lot more long-range fire support. There is also a new weapon type called a Telsa weapons. These weapons on a roll of a 6 hit automatically and cause 2 more hits. Have I read that right? Yeah. The biggest version of the Telsa or Tesla weapon has a chance of hitting all other units close to the target, both friend or foe. One of the new vehicle carries a Doomsday Cannon, which is a 72-inch range, strength 9, AP1 heavy blast, with a ballistic skill of 4. What else we got, Nathan?
In the elite sections, apparently there's going to be a nice big walker to add to the fray. It has a heat ray that is either a melter or a flamer, depending on what you want to do. The unit hit by this vehicle is marked as in laser targeted, which means that all other Necrons count as being twin-linked for shooting at the marked enemy unit that turn. So basically like Imperial Guard issuing the bring it down rule.
It's something to combat the big Dreadnought. Alright, so what else we got, mate?
Necron warriors have the same basic stat line, so BS 4, strength 4, toughness 4, etc. The only exception now is that they only have a 4+ armor save. Now, a lot of Necron players will go, oh, that's pretty crap, but basically their points have gone down from 18 points to 12 points, which means you can throw a lot more Necron warriors down.
That is a massive difference, isn't it?
It's a massive drop, 6 points. Yeah, it also makes losing a unit of 10 Necrons not that particularly devastating to your battle plans, because you just have more of them.
Right, so this change alone totally changes the army out of the Marine equivalent umbrella and makes it their own unique base stat line, which is good in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Alright, Adam, what else we got, mate?
The Immortals have lost their toughness 5 down to toughness 4, but they keep their 3+. They've dropped down to 17 points, which is 11 points less than they were before.
Massive.
Which is a pretty big drop.
It's going to be a pretty cheap army to run by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Alright, so all units in the army benefit from the new Will Be Back rule, so they all get the 5+, feel no pain but not. Not just the units that were formerly classed as Necrons in the Codex, even Scarabs get them, which is quite funny, big army of Scarabs. So although you're only getting a 5+ save in most cases, you're still getting it on some of the new expensive stuff in the army, as well, and the price of new units to counterbalance the relatively cheap warriors and immortals. Adam?
The Resorb's still in the game. It boosts the Will Be Back rule to 4+ instead of 5+, but it only affects the unit that it's in. It's apparently an upgrade that the Cryptex can take. The Veil of Darkness is now definitely something that the Cryptex can take. So if you have a bunch of them in the army, but it no longer allows a unit to be pulled out of combat, and neither does the Monolith. Except in the case of the Veil carried by one of the named characters.
Alright, so the 6 new vehicles, some of the new vehicles include flyers, so that'll be quite interesting to see. That's probably more for the summer of flyers as well.
Yep.
Close combat will still suck for them, which is no surprise, in most cases anyway. Plenty more options compared to the last book. Larger fluff section, which is just starting to become more common now with all the army books and codexes. And Scarabs will just rock. Nathan, what else we got, mate?
Besides a few units that are fearless, which are your Rays, Tombs, Spiders and Scarabs, the army does not have any sort of blanket immunity to morale. They're all still leadership 10, which is a good thing for Necrons, being robotic monstrosities. But obviously we know that this still leaves them to very vulnerable to being run down in combat. Again, that'll make them, just suck in combat.
Big Achilles heel. What do you want to fucking show me? Right, so that pretty much wraps up the Necron rumours. Hopefully it made sense. I just want to talk about the professionalism behind the camera. Just that'd be a cock. You can make it that what you'd like. Alright, so plans for the next show. Hopefully, if I can organise it properly, will be a Tomb King show, which will be like a review of the army book. And who better to get it in than somebody who's just gone mental over Tomb Kings? That'd be Simon Turner. Anyone that plays in the Australian Warhammer Fantasy tournament scene would know him. Or anyone from Newcastle probably know him. They hate him, I suppose. No, I'm joking. I just want to remind you guys to go check out our blog spot. Right, I've also got Facebook and Twitter. Like I said before, it's bullshit. That's pretty much the end of the show, guys. So what I want you to do is, if you feel like you want to email us any questions, we're not very insightful or witty at all, but we can answer any sort of questions or bullshit you want to ask us. Also, drop comments down below and talk about the new terms of GW, the Euro banning of this, like selling to Australia and all that sort of stuff. That's pretty much it. I hope it hasn't been crap. Thank you, Adam, and thank you, Nathan.
Thanks, Bud.
Right.
Thanks for sitting there, Adam.
Yeah.
Ready to record? Yeah.
What does that look like?
Vaginas!
You recording?
I know.
You actually recording this bullshit?
Might be.
Where's the red light?
Better than drawing cocks.
You get photos and you'll be like, so this one is really unhappy. This one's all shoulder.
This one is docking.
Go over Facebook, Twitter, all that's bullshit. And be sure to tell your mates.
All that other bullshit.
I just spat on you, I'm sorry.
Better than a golden shower.
Better than a golden shower. Thanks, mate.
Cut it.